hide your kids, hide your tech, hide your metahumans, because DeVoe's out here killing everybody. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, I saw that out of the corner of my eye.
I love all these like this.
Yeah. I vibe with it. What is up, guys? We're back to the full panel for another week of The Flash. Therefore, she is. I am Drew Jones, and as always, I am here with my lovely panel. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hi. How are you guys?
Both said hi at the same time. It's okay.
Jinx.
You and me
Got
hi.
Chauncey and Zach here and in the chat.
Yes.
So make sure to keep talking to us. What did you guys think of this episode?
There's a lot going on. A lot. We finally got some backstory. Y'all, we're gonna have to talk a little bit about some Infinity War spoilerish because I got some references from this episode that I feel like I have to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was a lot going on. We actually got some answers. I'm not totally sure I'm completely satisfied with some of the answers. I don't know. So
I concur, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, coming from last week's episode, it's good. It's cool that we got a lot of these answers. I enjoyed the exposition of things, but yeah, it's just one of those episodes. You know,
Just
what
one
do
of
we have,
those.
like 2 left, 3 left? It's gonna start to ramp up a lot. Which
Yeah.
is, you know, I'm okay with it being what it was.
Yeah,
tonight.
I feel like this was a good foundation for the final few
There you go.
episodes,
That's
and
a
we
great way
needed
to
it.
describe it.
We finally got we've gotten little flashbacks of DeVoe and Marlize, but we finally got like the real backstory on them. Let's dive into that.
Oh, man, that was heartbreaking.
yeah, I mean, they were very much a toxic couple.
From the get-go.
Like, I mean, Marlize dug him because he sort of, insulted
Opposed
her.
Right? Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, she played it off, and I mean, it was so typical. Like, she played it off like you challenged me, but really, in the end, he was an a-hole.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just like she was attracted to that or whatever, which is, typical in certain regards.
I saw something completely different. I mean, yes, I saw all of that, but what I was looking at, I guess, it was completely different. I mean, I was looking at the romantic love aspect of their story and how, like, it has drastically fallen from the grace of God, I guess. I don't know.
I think there were telltale signs that he had some abuse.
I guess I'm just blinded by, like,
I don't even know if it was, I don't want to call it abusive tendencies, but I want to say there were some telltale signs of his mannerisms that showed that he would be somewhat controlling and that he would be a little bit emotionally manipulative.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. He was very undermining from the get-go. And I don't know why. This is not cute. Don't do that. It's not cute. Like, he starts it from the get-go, undermining her. And, like, she's probably not used to people coming at her like that. So she, chooses to go one of two ways. You either tell them, go play in traffic, or you, like, think it's cute. And she apparently thought it was cute until she, they start getting to know each other. And he, even, like, when he takes her cell phone, like, when they're on the picnic, I'm like, okay, chill a little bit. Like,
yeah, it's like, let her answer her phone.
She's important. Like, she has things to do. It's not just you.
I thought she was like, oh, no. He took the phone.
She picked it up and she was like, oh, so sorry. And then he took it out of her hands.
You're right.
And then we see she comes across his, like, what is it? Manifestation or whatever?
His
Manifesto. There we go. Thank you.
Oof, that was a little creepy. It ramped up real fast.
It was real mass shooter-esque. Like, it really freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, it was interesting. And I thought that, I dug what they did with the costumes, but they didn't want to get like an old-timey feel.
Yes. No.
With those flashbacks. I'm like, what year is this?
I wasn't sure whether they were trying to do the whole, like, well, we're not going to replace the actors with younger versions of themselves, but we'll just, like, clean shaven them and make them look young to, like, make it seem like they were younger. But it was kind of like the modern day age, right?
Yeah, Yeah, it was only 8 years ago. Like, that's the episode. It opens up 8 years ago. So it was really like 2001.
Yeah.
So
But they definitely had that like sepia filter too.
I was
it
like,
seemed
what is,
old school.
like 1940s.
I didn't
the
mind it. I liked it.
I mean, it was nice.
Yeah. I also always thought that their vibe, like in the costumes that were chosen for them and everything, was very like showing the roles of like the man and the woman in the relationship, because the 50s were a little bit more like women are home and they do this and men do this.
Yeah, she had that dress last week.
Yeah, and I feel like it kind of was like another way that the show showed us that how like their relationship is in comparison to like Iris and Barry, who are a little bit more forward thinking and a little bit more, equal.
Totally equal. Which is interesting because I know in the beginning of the season when we were seeing, Marlize and DeVoe's relationship, we were kind of saying that there was there was like a parallel with, or even an overlap with West Allen. We were seeing these, what we thought was like both these epic love stories, but just one on like the darker side. And then by looking at this backstory, I'm like, this was not an epic love story from the jump. It just seems like she kind of fell for this guy that, was a little bit more of an alpha or whatever, and it went left real quick. So,
well, she had the smarts to get out of it.
Yeah,
as soon as she found that,
the first
she was
time
just
around,
like,
yeah.
"Ooh, I'm gone."
But
and then the thing happened with the water filter. It was just, there were some definite telltale signs that he was not on the up.
And he definitely played on her trauma like a lot.
Yeah, he's like, I'm nothing without you. If
Yeah.
someone tells you stuff like that, that's not. Like it's kind of it's very emotionally manipulative.
Yeah, red flag.
Yeah.
You know what is not a red flag though?
Red up flag.
It's not a red flag
is whether you guys want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life. For those of you who do, we have the podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. It's hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life. It's from health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know it was us, the Flash Panel, who sent you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out.
So this episode was heavily focused on the relationships of the show. One that hasn't been getting that much love was Gypsy and Cisco, but we got to kind of see
the ending of it.
Yikes. I'm sad a little bit. I'm a little sad, but what did you guys think of the whole plot line for them?
I don't know. I kind of feel like Cisco kind of went the same way of DeVoe, of like, I'm nothing without you kind of deal. He's like, I want more. I want you all. And he isn't getting it. Because... No? You don't see a kind of a correlation?
I think it's a little... I think intentions are different, and I think
how it's...
Because I don't think Cisco's being manipulative.
No, he's not in that. Yeah, and he's not being manipulative in the sense.
Because I think he's saying... I think Cisco's whole thing was like, I don't think that me being your partner is going to be the answer to everything. Whereas DeVoe was like, I just come over here. Like, it's about me. It's not about you.
Yeah, I didn't get the sense that that it was, because with DeVoe, I felt like there was some, emotional manipulation going on there, in the sense of he clearly had some very extreme thoughts, and they were outside of Marlize, and he was trying to force Marlize to be in that with him. Yeah, and there was some kind of control methods. I think with Cisco, it wasn't necessarily control methods. I think it was more of a mutual thing of miscommunication with the two of them. Her wanting, kind of this. I mean, I was kind of confused towards the end of that, but it seemed like in the beginning when they finally had the conversation, it was like, I'm good with what we have right now. Like, I actually don't want us to, like, live with each other. Yeah. I'm good with kind of coming to see you occasionally. Like, I like this being open because I want to leave myself open. And then with Cisco, he's like, well, I want a consistent girl. But, like, he's basically saying, I don't want to do long distance anymore. Yeah. So I didn't think that was necessarily DeVoe-like. I think it was just more like, a relationship, very much a relationship thing. Where
He's
it's just
pleading
like,
his love in the right way. Where DeVoe
Yeah.
didn't. And
Yeah.
I said that wrong. I wasn't saying like he was like DeVoe, but like they're both pleading their love, and one did it the right way, one did it the other way.
I don't even think DeVoe necessarily loves Marlize. I think he loves what Marlize can do for the enlightenment or do for him. I think it's more about her talents
Yeah,
rather,
towards the end, that's what we
rather
really got
than
out of that.
it being about her.
I think it sort of leaned towards that. I think in his own way he loves her.
Yeah. I actually am not really surprised that the Gypsy and Cisco thing didn't lie. I never saw it being in game.
Yeah, a lot of the chat's talking about that. They're just like, we saw it coming. Like,
Yeah. She's very like, march to the beat of her own drum, does her own thing. I just don't really see her being someone who's ready to be tied down. And even like watching their back and forth banter throughout the seasons, like she's just.
They never really seemed like a couple.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like back and forth banter. And then like we'll kiss, and then I got a breach. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gypsy wanted a different kind of relationship. I don't think, some people, it depends. Like, we have kind of this binary way that we think of relationships at times where it's like what Cisco has, that's considered more committed because he wants her right there. But there are plenty of couples who like live in different states for years, different countries, and they're totally fine because they're committed to each other. It seems like Cisco wants a different type of relationship. I don't even know if it's like more committed, if just like a different logistics, and he couldn't handle that. And it's a little weird because, I think like what you all are saying about Gypsy, like that makes sense to me. With Cisco, I'm kind of wondering, but then again, we haven't seen him in relationships before. Maybe he is the clingy type because it's like, it seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere.
I kind of feel like he wants the emotional support that Iris provides for, for Barry, because Iris is always right there, to go through these big things. And they're constantly day to day going through these huge things. So I feel like he can't go to Gypsy and get an immediate response or even a semi-immediate response because she's doing her own stuff. And if they're not playing for the same team, if they're both doing their own things, it's kind of hard for them to line up and communicate.
Yeah.
Because we've seen whenever she's been brought up, it's oh, when's the last time you talked to her? Oh, it's
Yeah.
It's not oh, just last night. It's just oh, we talk when we can.
Yeah, we know, I think Zach had noticed that Cisco had a lot of those boxes, those message boxes.
There's 5 of them in the drawer or something.
Which is the equivalent of snail mail, sort of, you getting letters or whatever. And I will say with one thing, there was one thing that was slightly to me a little bit, not manipulative, but not the healthiest thing with Cisco, where he was I don't want to take the job, but I want us to be together or whatever. So it's was he asking her, do you want me to move over there? Or was
he wasn't proposing any kind of solution.
Yeah,
he was just saying what he wanted, but then also not saying what would be best for her.
Exactly, because the first thing, Gypsy said, Cynthia said was, well, I'm not going to pack up my life and what I do. He's like, well, I'm not asking you to do that. But then what are you asking her to do?
Yeah.
Because you're not leaving Team Flash anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, he kind of put her in a weird position where she was like, well, I'm good with what we have. You want more of me. But if I'm the one you want, then wouldn't you want me in any kind of capacity? So it's but it seems like Cisco wants the idea of the girlfriend of someone who's there. So if that's the case, then he doesn't love her enough.
I just really hope that this isn't the writers opening up a path for Cisco and Caitlyn or something. Because
you're just always warding off any kind of Caitlyn romance.
I think they squashed that already, though.
I want Caitlyn to have a good romance, but I just think that her plot, her thing with Killer Frost should be, she had relationship issues for the most part of this show. Right. So I like that this season.
Yeah, everyone kept dying on her.
Yeah, I like that this season it's about her, and so I just want her to do her thing for a minute.
She's also kind of gone. Obviously in this episode, it looked like she went off the deep end a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't think Cisco should have any sort of. She needs to get her stuff together again.
Yeah.
So
she's got a lot of self-reflecting to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot, but
she put Gypsy in danger.
She did
pretty much. Because
jumping
jumping in.
Yeah.
I'm bringing her back. And you're gonna get Gypsy killed at the why are you 180? It's so weird in those cases. There are times when they have made Caitlyn very selfless, and then there are times when she gets all
very desperate and sporadic.
For the sake of, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's just for the sake of the plot.
It is.
That they're just switching her up, and it's the whole thing she said to Iris. It was like, I will. Really? So all of a sudden it's I? There's no I in Team Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Aren't we Team Flash?
And it's just like
It's definitely an I in Team Caitlyn.
And we've talked about.
But it's funny because you said there's no I in Team Caitlyn, but Caitlyn has an I in Caitlyn.
I said there's no I in Team, comma, Caitlyn.
Oh,
I felt the comma. I felt
did
it.
not.
Thank you, sir. Grammar Nazi.
There's no grammar there. But hey, did you realize Harry said that first before Caitlyn, but she heard him say that.
What?
Like, he's like, Caitlyn was like, no, we'll help you fix this. He goes, no, I will.
Oh.
Yeah, to the being dumb.
And that's the thing too. Like randomly people forget. I mean, it kind of makes sense with Harry.
Yeah.
But like for Caitlyn to now be like,
It doesn't fit her character profile.
Yeah. I mean, she has gone off at times, been like, I'm, Frost, so I can't be around you guys. I got to go with Solo. But even in this case, it came out of nowhere again.
Yeah, and it still kind of feels very forced, the connection with her. Like, I like that her and Killer Frost are getting along, but it was so quick that they suddenly are getting along, and then now she wants her back. Like, it was very, like, rushed, and so, like...
Well, that's why I said, like, the death didn't really feel... I cared about it, but it wasn't so impactful. Like, not the death, but, last week or 2 weeks ago when we lost her, it wasn't so impactful.
Yeah.
Because it was so rushed. It was like, oh, now you care for her. What should we care for her?
Wait, we like her now?
Well? Like, yeah. They dictate, like, how we should feel, and it's too rushed.
Yeah, speaking of how we feel, how do we feel about Harry? He has finally had to, admit that he is losing it.
Yeah.
I feel sad for Harry. Although I thought to myself that if he did lose his brains, he's like, who would I be? And I'm like, you'd be Harrison H. Wells. What would we call him?
The one that just passed away, that died.
HR.
Yeah,
HR,
I'm like, you'd be HR.
The goofy guy.
HR wasn't smart, and that's what Harry would be. Harry would basically become HR.
Harry's very angry, though, so I don't think it'd be the
he'd
same.
be a little bit more of a grumpy HR.
He'd just be dumb and angry.
But, I mean, once again, that right there showed, like, HR was very useful to the team once he was able to utilize, who he was. So it's not like he'd be useless. But I felt bad for Harry, although I thought he brought it on to himself. With the whole thing with the thinking cap. So
I'm glad that he just came out finally and said something. I didn't want them to keep keeping the secret from the team at all. It was like, finally good you're saying it. And it was in the beginning of the episode too. I didn't want that to be stretched out.
Yeah. I love that we finally figure out how Cecile's powers are going to be useful. And it's basically that she is
totally out of left field, not what we were expecting.
Not what I've been predicting,
fine.
but
I mean, it's all right. I mean, it still could happen.
I still hold on to that prediction.
Yeah.
But
which prediction?
That she's going to be able to hear all of the
other
metas in DeVoe.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to maybe come back around.
I'd like that.
But I love Cecile and Harry's friendship.
I do too. I ship that friendship. I really do. I thought the actors have such a cool dynamic with each other, and it plays off really well on screen. It's very natural. And it was... Because I know when they first became that friendship, we were all wondering, like, this is out of nowhere. But I guess eventually that was set up so this could happen.
Yeah.
So he could confide in her, and she could hear his thoughts as they left him. So that was a nice tie up to the reasoning of that friendship.
Yeah, because at first I was like, when he was saying, I did this to myself, so I have to be the one to reverse it, I was like...
How are you gonna do that?
How are you gonna do that? You
can't
even,
yeah.
Yeah, like what? But then now that she's, a part of it, I'm like, okay, cool. I think obviously he's gonna be good to go. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, and you know what I didn't understand? Were they saying, like, in the beginning, Harry was like, there's a ticking time clock, and I'm no use to anyone like this. And then they kind of paused. Was it kind of this idea of them saying, we don't have time to try to fix you? Or because of DeVoe?
I feel like he was hinting that they didn't have time to fix him. And so he was just like,
focus on the task.
Yeah, I'm not what you guys need to worry about.
But a baby shower is important.
Right? It was like, I don't know.
They couldn't go to the wedding for Ray. And
that's like on a different Earth, though, Zach.
Oh, but they could go to Earth 19?
I don't know.
Did you catch what
happened
in Earth 19?
I did. I peeped it.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Wait, what?
When they breached the Earth 19, what did you peep?
Oh, no. I don't know what I peeped. What did you peep?
Oh, as soon as they breached and they were going through the CCPD version of whatever it is.
The
agency. The agency. We got to see Flash 19, Earth 19, because he has purple lightning. So he went up the stairs really quickly. Unless that's who we saw at the end of the episode, which I had could be possible.
I didn't peep that.
Oh yeah, go back and check it out. There's a
I have to
quick
now.
little purple lightning, because he had purple lightning prior whenever we saw him, right? And I think everyone was like, why does he have purple lightning? Was I just imagining that in my head? Chat, can anyone help me out with this?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think about it. I'm not trying to think about it too hard though, because
I
we
see.
got to think about
Go for it.
the enlightenment. We finally
you
know.
get to know what it is. Finally, jeez.
Finally get it. After episode after episode of being like, what is gonna happen? Like, what is this enlightenment? We finally, we finally know what it is. What do you guys think of this plan?
I felt like it was very, and if no one wants to know any Infinity War spoilers, I thought it was very Thanos-y.
For sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of Thanos kind of, this whole idea of like regulating the world. Like we know, like DeVoe's thing is the world, humans can't take care of themselves. We saw with the beginning debate that he had with Marlize, which was this ongoing debate, was that technology in man's hand will always be menacing because that's what man will always do. So it's kind of like this idea that men are inherently prone to be evil, prone to hurt each other. So now he wants to control man to be the basic, very infant-like, so that he can control them and basically self-regulate humanity.
Yeah.
And the Thanos thing is very similar to that. I actually saw someone online mention that like DeVoe may be the DC version of the DC versus version of Thanos. But I will say that the whole idea of overpopulation, just like an Infinity War type thing or whatever, is a myth. Like that's not true. Like there's not some finite, like there's enough food and resources for everyone. So it's kind of, I mean, it's more sexy and sensationalized to make it so that that myth keeps going so these villains can come up and do it, but it's not actually a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really like turned on by this whole idea of turning everyone into infants.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you've been building it up, building, and we're like, okay, this is about to be crazy. And then he's like, make everyone dumb babies. And you're like, oh.
Big letdown.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so you basically just want to control everyone like toddlers.
Yeah.
And not even anymore. Like initially he wanted to reteach people, but now we're seeing through Marlize, like he just wants to rule. It kind of defeats the whole plan, like the plan of what he was originally wanting to go for.
Yeah, now you're trying to go for like daddy daycare. You're just trying to.
They're not going to be dumb. They're not going to be like babies. They're going to be like what Harry is. You're just going to not be able to think so fast, or not to be able to, think 2 + 2 is 4. They're literally going to have to be like retaught everything, and he wants to reteach them in a way that like, hey, we shouldn't rely on technology in such a way, like basic human needs, and we'll do it this way.
I'm not feeling it.
I know, it's really dumb.
Which also is weird because it's like if his whole premise is this idea that men are inherently prone to hurt each other because of technology, is his plan then to reteach everyone, take out technology so we're back in like the Middle Ages so that they don't learn? But if they get taught, then they're eventually going to begin to think.
They're going to relearn again, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, wouldn't it just be a vicious cycle that eventually they would start creating things to make their jobs easier, to just like regular technology happens, which are modern inventions. So what's your end game here? If not to constantly just be around lobotomized,
it's not much of an end game because he's also like he can't live forever now. Like he doesn't have immortality. He's still a middle-aged man.
It just
20, 30 years of teaching people, if that.
Yeah, it just seems like a limited for a very smart man. It doesn't seem like a very smart enlightenment.
Well, he became everything that he wanted.
Well, is he middle-aged now technically because he's in Ralph's body, or is his body now aged as Ralph, so he's a little bit.
It's like early 40s, mid-40s. It's not.
It's not a huge difference, but I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not in love with this this evil plan. It's not my favorite. I'm a little disappointed because we've been waiting.
Not so evil.
Yeah, it's just kind of like,
It's just like, hey, Harry did it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's very, when I was like, oh, okay. Like the premise of, men are inherently, prone to that. I mean, that's a great debate. We can get philosophical with it or whatnot, but just the idea that his end game is this idea of making everyone kind of infant-like, it just seems like it would turn into a vicious cycle of people eventually learning again. And like we all say, like he's going to die. So who's going to be left with,
teaching the rest of humanity. Like his plan isn't all the way thought out.
Yeah, and since he hates technology, will he also step back from technology once this whole plan goes through, or is he going to continue using technology?
What's the definition of technology for him? Pencil was a technology at one point.
That's very true.
What, are you not going to use a stick to write in the sand or something? I mean, it's kind of flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he just doesn't have enough Instagram and Twitter followers.
He's butthurt.
That's why
he's tired of these Insta models.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, I lost my thought. Never mind.
DeVoe
I'm
saw.
so sorry.
I've been lobotomized.
DeVoe saw one too many Fit Tummy Tea ads on Instagram, and he was like, "Enough is enough."
I don't even know what that is.
I was gonna say that Marlize.
Bless you.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna
I didn't
actually.
sneeze, but no.
The thing with Marlize, like what she said with when the water source was taken by those people, and that's when she came over to DeVoe's side. She the whole thing was like, we need to stop people from hurting each other, and then it got to the point where DeVoe does basically just want to rule. Which is totally different from what Marlize wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, he kind of, once again, manipulated her into thinking, and maybe that was always his goal, to kind of just rule, because he felt like the smarter person or the smartest person needs to be in charge of everyone. But what kind of life is that to lead?
Yeah.
What kind of, even for a ruler, what kind of life is that to lead where you control every single thing?
Yeah, and have no one, I feel like the most engaging conversations are the ones where people challenge you or make you think differently. So what kind of life is it to be lived if you're never having anyone think differently from you?
Which, I mean, and we can say all the logic or whatever, but what it comes down to is that he's mad. He's crazy, and...
It was a manifesto.
Yeah.
More so than it was a solution to a world problem.
Yeah.
It was just a ranting of a crazy madman.
Yeah.
Who's extremely smart and not, can actually follow through with things as opposed to just some random...
Yeah, he's a madman in that sense, and it's and that kind of justifies it a little bit, because it's that wouldn't. It's the same thing with Thanos. It's you want to kill off what? Okay, cool. What's that gonna do for anything?
Obviously Marlize did not have the reaction that DeVoe wanted her to have. What do we think of how she chose to handle everything this episode?
I'm glad she finally put her foot down.
Yeah.
3 victims later, almost a 4th, but yeah.
Yeah, it was smart that she finally got in the chair
She
needed
to figure out her way out.
Yeah, because he was altering her mind with the tears before and everything like that. So
I think she realized how unstable he was, and that if she tried to escape early, he would have just killed her.
Facts. Do we think he's gonna try to put her back on the tiers at some point?
No, I think he's been resigned with saying you're going to be part of the enlightenment now.
Yeah,
he's
he's
still
still dumb.
Yeah.
He's so far gone that it's just all right, well, the enlightenment will come for you too.
Facts.
Which also is just one of those things where it's his love for power was greater than his love for Marlize, which is sad. But once again, we realize that they didn't have this epic love story that we thought they did, which, it kind of sucks, because I think it would have been more emotionally compelling if it was really this really epic love story. I think it would have been a little bit more resonating.
Yeah.
This breakup, because it's okay, yeah, she finally left that abusive relationship, because even way before he became the thinker, he was somewhat emotionally manipulative. So yeah, she finally got the courage to leave 10 years later. So, I don't know.
I feel you. And then before we do news and gossip and predictions, we got our girl back for another little cameo.
Yes.
A snippet.
Do we think she's done? I still think
Jessica
she's done.
Parker.
I think she's done. 5,000%.
purple lightning with orange.
I mean, Iris and Barry's lightning.
Both lightning. Yeah.
I don't know.
It was kind of cool.
I just like her mannerisms. I feel like they're very Barry. Like I wonder like if Jessica like actually just like watched Grant Gustin act and then was like, okay, I'm gonna like
play off.
Probably.
Yeah, and
It'd be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I thought I think she may be Dawn for sure because of the mixture of the lightnings. I also noticed it seems as though Iris seems to be the only person who hasn't met her yet.
Yeah.
Who hasn't laid eyes on her. Like as soon as Iris came up close to the door, she walked away. Like everyone else has seen her except Iris. Like even at the wedding, at the cafe, everyone's bumped into her except Iris so far. And I wonder why that is. Either I'm worried, I guess we can get into predictions. But like I'm worried that there's a reason why she like her face fell and like she refuses to be around Iris.
I wonder if it's maybe that Iris, I feel like moms have a connection to their kids more so than anyone else. And I feel like it would almost be like Iris be like,
you're my kid.
Yeah, it would be like Iris would somehow be like, something's not right here. Maybe that's what she's trying to avoid.
Or maybe Iris is dead in the future and that really just throws her off. I mean, Iris does die in the comics. Yeah. I mean, not for long, but she dies in the comics. So that might be a plot line that they're going with of some sort.
We're trying to kill Iris again.
I mean, hopefully it's not the same way as the previous season. Because in the comics, there's this cool thing where Iris is like from the 30th century or something. Yeah. Like she was placed in a different time. And if we go back to the whole playing of time thing, that could be a thing. So, I mean, whatever it is, she has to have a connection to Iris, I think, because she's just not trying to be around her. But then I kind of got thrown off because she knows when Cecile's going to go into labor, which is 21 days from that episode. And then she was like, you know, to let you know that you're so special. And it's like, what's that connection that she has to them? Maybe Joe is like her her grandfather, maybe.
Because I feel like everyone's trying to throw us off. I feel like they're trying to throw us off by, you know, Joe and Cecile's baby being a girl as well. And I feel like people are like, oh, maybe. No, I don't think.
That would be another disappointing thing to me.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense as far as like, because she's obviously a speedster. I feel like it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for her to come from Joe and Cecile.
Yeah, none.
I don't know though, because then maybe that's why they gave Cecile powers, so then it would suddenly make sense that she would have a metahuman baby.
That'd be so contrived. I mean,
that would be annoying.
It's like I don't know. It's like the carriage before the horse type of thing. Like we want to do this, so let's make this. I mean, what's the
what works or not?
Yeah, what's the significance of that if that's the case? I'm holding out that that's not the case.
I also am holding out for that. You have some news and gossip.
Yeah. Oh, but before I did want to reference, and I know some people don't like, but like West Allen had that mini talk. And that is what helped Barry get the breakthrough for the satellites. I'm just saying. It's always great when we get a West Allen combo.
Live for it.
Iris giving her pep talks.
The best. And also telling her to stop counseling other couples.
Right? Like, Barry was all up trying to play Cupid and trying to fix that. And it's like, Barry, you can't fix everybody.
His pep talk wasn't even that good tonight. He had a pep talk to the team, and it was kind of just like, really?
Why? When was that pep talk?
I think it was right before Iris' pep talk.
Was it?
Yeah.
They didn't give me music or anything.
I wrote it down. I was just like, this is a really bad pep talk. Yeah. I'm like, why would this inspire anybody? Like,
he basically was like, hey guys, we're family. Yeah, your brain's not working. Yeah, you don't have powers. Yeah, you and your girlfriend probably gonna break up. But we're family.
Yeah. Right? That's pretty much what it was. I was like, that would not get me inspired to do.
Yeah, there was no. Yeah. But I feel like we should start like paying attention like to the talks and like rate them or something. Yeah, just like, was this a good one?
We'll make a new segment
this time. Like this didn't work because I didn't even remember that because I usually notice them, but because they didn't give a song, I was like, okay, this isn't.
I think there was a reason behind it because then he had a speech about like we're barely hanging on, like we're barely hanging on by a thread, and like I don't think he was saying it and he didn't even believe it himself.
Facts.
Man,
Man.
I mean, DeVoe's done a number on Barry, though, if we think about it. It's just, I mean, and then when they kept, honestly, I couldn't help but roll my eyes every time they were like, we need to get Cisco and Gypsy to do the thing so we'd be one step ahead of DeVoe. We can surprise DeVoe. I just, you never
Y'all
will
already
surprise
know.
DeVoe. Like, that's not a thing at this point. I don't know what else can be the thing, but that's not it. Like, you're not a step ahead of this guy at all.
At all. And
I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to beat him now. I mean, that hasn't, the warped enlightenment aside, I still don't know how they're going to beat
lightning
him.
bolts apparently hurt him. And then the vibing, two people vibing him at the same time, I guess, was looking like it worked.
I feel like they have to stop trying to get a step ahead of him and just get on the same playing field.
They just need to fight him.
Yeah.
Because it looked like they almost fought him before Caitlyn came and messed it all up because she just had to get Killer Frost back. I mean, yeah, that threw everything off. But, I mean, it looked like they were almost going to, beat him at that point. And then, like, it seems like each time he's gotten out, it's been like I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's, ugh. All right. News and gossip. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Start thinking of your predictions, Zach.
TV News.
Okay, so the Flash boss promises Mystery Girl answers in the finale. Like we were just talking about, who is this Mystery Girl? And Todd Helbing tells EW that you get the question answer as to who it is. There's actually an extra little bonus where something happens where you'll realize exactly how she'll play a part in the future. Grant Gustin actually reveals that he already knew who she was throughout most of the season, although he did not know during the wedding. He says, I've known since before we started this season, Grant Gustin says of her identity. It's been the thing that I've been most excited about all season, which sounds ridiculous because it's really a season 5 thing. I've spent all of season 4 being excited about this thing we're going to do in season 5. So that's really awesome. So maybe he's a little over the Ralph stuff and whatnot. The other thing is Candace Patton predicts West Allen will have a long, healthy marriage.
Yes.
So anyone who's anti-West Allen, sorry, on The Flash. And Candace Patton is opening up about Barry and Iris's recent wedding on The Flash inside her new feature in Bello magazine, where you can see some of those. Yeah, model. She says, at the end of the day, the fans are super happy that we finally had our fairy tale ending and ended up together. We are. And Barry and Iris are pretty stable for the rest of the season. They do have some small relationship bumps just in terms of working together and figuring out the dynamics of that. But I think we can hope for a long and healthy marriage between Iris and Barry. So.
I live. She just posted a photo that she got braids, and I'm like, can we get that Iris in season 5? Can we get Iris with some poetic justice braids? Please.
No, that'd be awesome.
I would love it. All right. It is time for predictions. Zach, I have given you some time for predictions. I'm going to give you a few more seconds, though. While Zach is baking on his predictions, make sure to like this video right now. If you are listening to us via iTunes, give us 5 stars. A star for 4 stars for the seasons we've already had, and 1 star for next season.
Cool.
Bam. Do it right now. I'll give you 2 seconds. Ready? Okay, it should be done by now.
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
There's only 2 likes on YouTube, but it's cool.
Are you ready, Zach?
No, there's 4. You have to refresh.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes.
Go.
Amulette is back next episode.
Oy vey.
I know. But she's like spicy, and it's cool. It's fun sometimes.
Spicy like chicken.
I feel like she's gonna kind of turn cheek a little bit, and we'll get to see more of her, process from like a bad guy into a good guy a little bit. Obviously, she's going to be working with Team Flash next episode because everyone wants to defeat DeVoe. But I think coming from that point afterwards, whenever DeVoe gets defeated, I think she might be one of those members that come back and forth, like part of the rogues that help out Team Flash from time to time. She might prove to be a better good guy than a bad guy, if that makes sense. You like that prediction?
I dig it.
All right.
Chauncey.
I think Jessica Parker is playing Dawn. I think that's who she is. I think she is Iris and Barry's kid. I think something happened to Iris somewhere along the lines, and that's why she doesn't want to face her. So that's my prediction regarding her. And I am still very baffled on how they're going to beat DeVoe at this point. I don't know. Like, suddenly they're saying that Amulet is like is unable to be affected by DeVoe's powers somehow. I mean, but her powers are just basically throwing rocks. So I'm just...
It's a dumbed down Magneto.
I mean, I'm just wondering how that's going to work. So...
I still stand by I think Cecile's gonna peep the metas inside DeVoe, and they're still gonna be able to somehow like salvage that.
Ooh, I don't know actually, because I did read somewhere that Ralph is not coming back for season 5. That is done.
They're also. I don't think he's necessarily coming back for season 5, but I also don't think he's dead for good.
No, I think I read somewhere that last voiceover that we had was it for him.
I also read that certain things were going to happen in Infinity Wars that didn't happen. So
Exactly.
I don't believe anything.
Exactly.
Oh snap!
Don't trust the internet.
Touche.
Oh snap!
I'm still
Where's
really
Valkyrie?
Right?
Facts. Thank you.
Where's Valkyrie?
Ant-Man
Anyway.
and the Wasp.
They
Anyway.
got the movie.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It was Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Um.
Apparently they were really tiny in Wakanda.
Facts. All right. But I still kind of think that about Cecile. I do think that it's Dawn, and
Valkyrie died.
No,
No,
let's not start this. Let's not start this.
we're a
spoilers,
DC show.
sorry.
I'm not trying.
Sorry.
I'm not trying to fight.
Put it down, Zach.
Not trying to
Put it
Gotta
down.
fight.
reel it back in.
pretty sure it was on
You
the
can't-
ship,
Them
but okay.
fighting words.
Anyway, so you were saying something about...
I think that's Dawn. I agree with yours. I'm not looking forward to Amunet because I think she's annoying.
No, nobody likes Amunet.
So
She's
I
gotta
just
go.
I don't even know how she's playing into it. That's it. Go see Infinity Wars. But yeah, that's my prediction. I don't really have.
How many times have you seen it?
I could only muster up seeing it once because it was actually traumatizing for me, and I've been trying to go see it.
I'm trying to see it again.
Yeah, and
I
it
need
was
to
just.
see it again.
It's a long movie too, so it's like it's a lot of emotional abuse. But where can the people find you if they can't find you in a movie theater?
Cool. My name is Zach Silverman. You can find me all across social media at Zach with the CH Silverman 2.
Hey, and this is Chauncey K Robinson. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Chauncey KR, and also on my bi-weekly show, The Bloody Breakdown, and I have Guyana, Where Death Lives as my most recent movie review.
Ooh, and I'm Drew Jones. You can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ. Make sure to hang out with me tomorrow night for another CW show, iZombie. And we will see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.